I'm joined by the home team coach, Coach Jose Riveiro, as well as Captain Innocent Maela. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank
Coach, you. If we can start with you, followed by you, if you can just both give us a brief summary of the preparations of the upcoming fixture. Coach, obviously from a technical perspective, and if you can just give us a brief from a player's perspective. We'll start with you, Coach.
Good afternoon. It's been a normal week so far. We have proper time to prepare the game, and we're following a normal schedule and methodology to face, like you said, the last game at home, an important game, like all the games that we're going to play till the end, and really looking for Saturday to do everything in order to get a good result for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, like the coach has already alluded, it's been a good week, a normal week. The guys are pushing out. The team is working really, really hard to make sure that we go out there and compete as best as we can come this weekend.
We'll now open for questions from the floor. As per norm, please represent yourself as well as the media company you represent prior to asking your question. We have roving mics. Please, by a show of hands, do you have any questions? I see Super Jono is secretly raising his hand there. If you can just make it visibly clear that we don't miss you. Super Jono there. Is there anyone else? Can we get a third question, please? Tapo, you noted? Noted?
Thanks, Lady T. Coach, Nazola from SABC Sport. If I could ask a two-pronged question with your permission, Lady T. One, just to get the coach's comment on an individual accolade. The second, I believe, Coach of the Month award. Just what does it mean for the work that you've done in your first season at the club? And then secondly, how tricky is it to plan for a side that you now know that you will face in the final again, not to sort of give away too much ahead of the final, which would be, 2 weeks after that?
It's very easy because the objective, the next objective for us is consolidate our position in the log and make sure that we can be the second. So I'm not thinking at all about the cup final and who's going to be our opponent in the cup final. It's going to be attractive enough. What are we going to play for on Saturday? And we know that finals are different games than league fixtures, so we trying to prepare the game, especially mentally, because in this moment of the season, just 3 weeks ahead of us, every other preparation should be, like you can imagine, should be already done in terms of structures, organization, everything. The players are in the last part of the season, so everything it's pretty clear for us. It's more about our physical recovery and our mental recovery, but like I said, it's not difficult because at least me personally, and that's what I try to express to the players as well, we go in game by game. So for me, the 27 it's so far. We have a final on Saturday, and we want to be there ourselves. It doesn't matter who is the opponent. We are preparing for the opponent we're going to have in front, obviously, but it's about us. And the first question, well, for me, I think we are the team of the month more than the coach of the month. I take it's fine. There's always going to be individual awards in football, but I think it was a fantastic month. The performances of the team were brilliant. We managed to get fantastic results, and that's just a consequence. But the truth of the matter is that we were probably the best team in the month, and hopefully we can do it again now in May.
Thanks. Testing 1, 2.
Can Maela please keep the microphone switched on? Thank you.
Thanks, Lady. Coach, does it help with talking about the Champions League? Does it help that it's in your hands? You don't have to rely on other teams doing you favors. can just probably win the 2 games and then you get into the Champions League. Is it easier in that case? Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. We don't have to see anybody else. We are focusing our plans and the way we want to not only win the next game, also the upcoming one, and that's it. The fact that we have a small advantage is giving us the possibility to not feel any other external pressure or distraction about what the others are doing. We're trying to go and do the things in our own way, and yeah, definitely it's something positive.
Coach Lorenzo from the Ski Times. You've commented about like how impressed you are with the technical level of your own team and of the rest of the league. But on the coaching side of it, obviously a lot was said about you. What have you made of, the tactical aspects of the coaches that you faced, especially obviously South African coaches this season? Have you been impressed? Has it been something that you've noted that's different from what you've been used to?
I think there's how can I say, like big differences, to be honest. There's games that are or were really tactical and others that were not tactical at all. It's more about probably the main difference that I noticed, and I think that I mentioned this before early in the season, is that there's always moments in the games in PSL that it's very difficult to control the game from the coach perspective. Could be that for the fans, spectators is more funny because there's chances very quick side to side. Me personally as a coach, sometimes I suffer a bit in those moments, and but still, because of the quality that we have, also those moments are usually good for us in that side to side. When we have the opportunity to punch, usually we punish. So, but then the way to approach the games, okay, it's a bit different than in Europe. I'm not gonna lie, but there's games that were complicated from the tactical perspective as well. I think that I'm not the one to evaluate my colleagues, but there's talent also in the bench in PSL. It's not a discussion.
Take the next 3 questions.
Coach Coach, is there a bit of relief in terms of the schedule? Because prior to last week's game, games were coming thick and fast. So with the last 2 games against Sekhukhune and Amazon, will you say now there's a bit of relief, so to speak, in making sure that you prepare well enough for these remainder of the games?
To be honest, yes and no. I mean, yes, from my perspective, coaches, at least we can guarantee that we can have a proper rest. But when you are in the last weeks of the season and you are playing for important things, I'm sure if you ask the players and they answer to you 100% honest, they want to play, they want to compete as soon as possible. So it's also part of our job, do the things as good as possible so that the weeks can feel short for the players, because like I said, we're playing for important things for us, for the club, and if the wait is long, sometimes it's more difficult to manage the stress and the expectations, and there's more time to think. So we have to make sure that we don't overthink during these weeks, that we help the players to arrive in the right conditions to the games, but at the same time trying to make the weeks as short as possible for them in terms of the volume of the work that we are doing on the field right now is totally different than 1 or 2 or 3 months ago. So yeah, it's an important moment of the season, and because of that, it also requires a proper assessment from our side, and hopefully a good decisions also in that sense.
Tim.
Hamza from Sports. Coach, just an update from your side. With the season coming to an end, players get released, others come in, and having watched you within a few DDC games that you've seen, what have you made of the Orlando Pirates squad, let alone that they missed out on winning the DDC championship? But what have you made of the squad? How much is the talent within that bunch of youngsters that are playing within that? And when you do your consideration for next season, are the players that you're looking at without even mentioning them?
I think it's not the right time to talk about that, to be honest. We have an important game on Saturday. Our 100%, the 100% of our focus is there. The game preparation, what are we going to find there as an opposition? And I think it's not the time to do evaluations about our DDC team, sorry.